Good morning, people. It is so good to be back at school, and yet we're still on Zoom because we don't have classes anymore. But that's okay. You have Zoom with me and YouTube as well. So, what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to go through the remaining parts of the project. You have three small parts that you have to do, and you are going to have to present in about a week and a half your findings before the class. So let's go ahead and let's go to share screen, and I am going to go into the Google Classroom. And what I'm basically going to do, what you see is the teacher's side of it, which is okay. But what I'm going to do is basically go through what we need to do. The first thing is is the conclusion. So what do you need to do? That was wrong. I would need to go here. What do you need to do in your conclusion? Well, that's pretty simple. First of all, in the conclusion, you will have the following paragraphs. Okay, first of all, why you chose the topic of the project, which basically is it's a short paragraph. You might want to do a short compare and contrast of the other projects the other topics that you considered, but I do want to know why you chose this project. What you learned about conflicts in general. What are the things that you learned about conflicts? Not just the conflict that you did your project on, but also what did you learn about conflicts as a whole? Next, number three, the main points you learned about this specific conflict. What did you learn about this conflict? And give specific examples. For what you learned about the solution of conflicts in general. You probably saw how difficult it is. People have different beliefs, people have different positions, people have different interests. What are the challenges in solving a conflict? In all four paragraphs, you must use specific examples from the project. You just can't say blah 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 blah. For instance, for example, in the project we saw, this is the type of language that I want to hear. Your conclusion should be 1 to 1.5 pages. So that is your conclusion. Your conclusion, you're going to have to create a Google document, and you're going to have to do it in a Google document. So let's go to our next section. 1 second. Very good. Now we're going to go to our next section. 1 second. Give me a second here. Okay. To our next section is the reflection. The reflection is individual for every student in particular. That means each student must write their own reflection. This is the only part of the project in which you're getting a grade based on only your work. Each student needs to write a reflection of their own. How you feel, you need to write how you feel you performed in each of the following sections of the project. Okay? The brainstorming, how did you perform? Brainstorming for a topic, the literary review, the act of exploration, putting together a solution and the formulation of a conclusion. What was your role? Okay, and so basically for all these things you need to write a reflection. In each part you need to describe your role in the group, describe what you felt that you did well, and what you could have done better for each of the sections up here. Next, evaluate the overall performance of the group. give specific examples. Also up here in 2, I want specific examples. I don't want a blanket statement. I said, if you say, I did well in looking for things, I found things that were unexpected, give an example of it. If you felt the group did well on certain things, give an example of that. If you think the group could have done better on certain things, also give an example of that. I want specifics. And it said, dugmaot specifiot. The next thing is your overall feelings about the project and how the project contributed to your knowledge of conflicts and conflict resolution. What do you now know about conflicts now? And what did the conflict, what do you now know about conflict resolution? And then, just a short conclusion itself. This should be between a page and a page and a half. Okay, so that is the reflection. The next thing is the presentation. The presentation entails 2 things. One, perform. The presentation has 2 things. One, preparing a PowerPoint presentation. And 2, it has to do with presenting it in front of the class. So, this is worth 10 points of your grade. You will present your project in front of the class and the teacher. And the principal or the assistant principal and Shalom may be there as well. You will need to make a PowerPoint presentation with the following slides. A cover slide with the conflict title that you chose and who participated in the group. 2, topic choice. The topics that you considered doing your project on, what were the choices you had, and why you decided on the chosen topic. I don't expect you to write a whole Megillah here. Your entire presentation should be nikudot. It should be points, okay? Literary review. What you learned about the history of the conflict and the stakeholders, their positions and their interests. 4, slide 4, active exploration. What you learned about the stakeholders, their positions and interests from the active exploration. Who did you speak to and the main points they made? Again, I want it in points, binukudot. I don't want a copy paste of your entire project. The solution that you formulated. In points, what is the solution that you came up with? The prospects, what do you think will happen in the future regarding this conflict? The prospects for the future as per the conflict. What do you think is going to happen? Group reflection, a reflection as a group now about the things that you did well and the things that you could have done. This doesn't have to be as long as the individual reflection, but there should be some type of reflection from a group, 5 or 6 points that you felt that you did well, that you could have done better, and things that you might have changed if you were doing the project over again. And your PowerPoint needs to be uploaded here at the point here. So I hope this has helped you regarding the last 3 points of your project, and I wish you the best of luck. Take care.